이런情况 Meeting will be recorded in audio video format. By remaining in the meeting, those present consent to being recorded and displayed in footage that will be posted on the school district website. Please contact the district office if you have any questions concerning Hamilton School District's recording obligations under Montana's open meeting law. All right, so first things first, we'll see if we need to change the agenda or anything like that. No? Okay, so public comment on anything that is not on the agenda. All right, we'll keep moving forward. So, yeah, district and school reports. So, we will start with, who do you want to start with?
Anybody want to hit any highlights?
Do highlights?
Well, sure. So I'm sorry that mine didn't make the packet. You have a paper here. Just kind of, we've really highlighted our reading growth this year over the course of the last 2 years, actually looking at our own data. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. And then I just really wanted to shout out to my staff when we had a power outage and had zero power for most of the day. I was just really impressed with how my staff really stepped up and we reunified kids in a really successful way and learned a lot too. So I'm grateful for that.
Awesome. Thank you. Any questions for elementary? All right. You want to go to Wendy's next? Wendy?
Okay, so for the Washington board report, well, some exciting news is as of today, we'll have 2 more kids that start early literacy on Monday. So that was exciting. We just tested 2 more today and their scores make it so that they can
IDs that are 4-year-olds, I'm sorry.
Yes, our 4-year-olds, yeah. And then in December, they did their holiday cheer days and everybody always dressed up and they do lots of craft projects. The staff really likes it, the kids really like it. This month they are working on just coming back to school, getting back in that routine for the 2 weeks, after 2 weeks of being gone. Also, they did a wonderful job on the power outage day. Most of our kids stayed at school that day. We had a few parent pickups, but a lot of them were there. And they just kind of kept it going and we're still teaching. So it all worked out really well. And then for the special education or the student services board report, the big piece that I updated on there was just the numbers. So we do have lots of evaluations going on. Still kids moving into the district, not a lot leaving. So our numbers continue to go up, but they're doing a wonderful job of servicing the kids and things seem to be going well there. And we only need 1 para as of right now, which is the most exciting thing ever. So that's also a good feeling.
Sounds good. Yeah, I underlined that. That was amazing. So, any questions? All right, middle school?
Okay, also, I'll just jump on and highlight on the day of no power, we finished the day with 152 students, so we had a steady stream out, which kept our office hopping. But we did finish with 152 still in attendance, and they were all excited that they made it to the final buzzer. We kind of celebrated that. We do have a couple of things. Mrs. Clark was recently honored by Project Classroom. Do not know who nominated her, but she received a spot on Nonstop Local. We got to celebrate her with her kids, and there's a 1-minute spot out there celebrating her teaching and the impact she's made on our students. So that was a fun project. And then the recent dance that we did and activities that our leadership class put on, they surprised Mrs. Clark with $585 for classroom supplies as well. So that was a student-driven activity. And then finally, we are next week, just to highlight, next week we are piloting, we have 16 volunteer students who volunteered to be part of the Polytech and pilot the U-Science and working with individualized learning program or learning plans for each of those students. And we'll be doing a career exploration class that ties in with that, working with them on their individual learning plans to see how scalable this is to the entire 8th grade for next year.
Excellent. Sounds good. Any questions from middle school? All right, high school?
High school, we finished first day of semester finals today. We finished up all of them on Thursday. Our FFE Old Valley basketball is off and running. I believe we're close to 500 kids again. So I'd like to thank Anna Wynn Griffin, who headed it up this year. She's done a great job organizing it. and then the rest of the administrative team for out covering that. We are at least 7 new students starting on Monday, and we finished the power outage day with 0 kids.
Sounds good. What is that, FFE, Fall Valley Basketball?
Yeah, so it's our Families for Education, it's our parent organization. This will be the 13th year we've ran it. It's a 5-week program. It involves kids from Florence to Darby. We hosted Saturday mornings, the K1 are daily, the 3-4 in the morning, and the middle school, and 5-6 are in the afternoon. And so, it's a big fundraiser, pays for the ski trips for 5th grade, pays for our Teacher Appreciation Week, our 12 Days of Christmas. They fund our trips that kids go on, and all kinds of stuff. So it's our big fundraiser for the year. So thank you for asking.
Very cool. All right, any other questions? All right, activities, go ahead.
Yeah, we're just plugging along with winter sports, with wrestling and basketball and speech and debate. Our clubs, with December, with the 2 weeks off, are getting geared up here after semester finals. And get going, just a heads up, we're hosting Western A Divisional basketball in March, so it's a big event coming up.
Excellent. All right. Mr. Pittsinger?
Transportation grounds, obviously it's winter time, so we're hopefully, everybody loves snow, but time of year I don't like the snow, but, the update on those, just a reminder, we had the one truck that we had to replace that broke the frame after way too many years of plowing snow. We do have the 2 new trucks, new dust trucks. Just yesterday picked up the second truck, with the new plow. So we have 2 additional brand new plows. So we have 3 trucks that we'll have for a plow, and we've always run with 2 plus just the Bobcat. So new ventures of now we don't have any snow. So we'll see. I'll be okay with that if we can just. Other kind of highlights, the one bus that we have that we've been waiting on for a while to get the engine torn out of that and completely rebuilt. So it was the bus we bought from Fergus. It was waiting in line. They had to go through all their other jobs first. They had like 3 engines ahead of us. We just dropped it off yesterday. It should be 2 weeks to a month for them to pull that out, completely rebuild it, stuff back in. So that's really good. Another bus I'm still looking at in Missoula as well through Harlow's. Potentially another upgrade for us to get rid of one of our older buses and do a trade out on it. So that'll be a baby step in our bus appreciation. As far as we know, we kind of looking around and kind of looking at it too. If there's anything you see to let us know around the district from the storm. I'll touch on the storm too. The ticket booth over at the sports complex went for a ride. So we're working on that and replacing it. And I wasn't around much that day. We read about 34 fire calls that day. So, but other than that, we're cruising along with sports.
Yeah, thank you for Mr. Pittsinger. All right, Jamie?
I think probably the biggest thing we got is our retractable wall for the high school has arrived. Now we got to get the crew in town to put it up, so trying to get in contact with them and stuff, but the pillar and the wall is all in our possession. Now it's putting it up, which is not something that we can do or ever capable. So once the crew comes in, which I know they want to get done too, because that's a lot of money that they would like to get from us. But other than that, just plodding along. I mean, no snow's been kind of nice for us. Kind of talking Wendy's, short one para. I'm first time since I've been in charge full on-night custodians, so that's a nice step for us finally, because there for a while we were barely pushing it. So that's a big news for us.
Awesome. Thanks. Any questions for Jamie? All right, Nick?
Same old, about 950 meals a day in December. 8% of our food procurements were local food. That's about it. Unless you have any questions.
No, any questions? Thanks, Nick. Brian?
Yeah, you were able to see in the transformational learning report and the advanced opportunity report last Monday, all of our numbers in our different programs for first semester we'll get some updated numbers closer to March or February. With online enrollment, we're finalizing online enrollment with MTDA, closes tomorrow. Their enrollment deadline is tomorrow, so Ms. Holland's been working really hard getting the student schedule set there. It's not official yet, but the Board of Ed is meeting Thursday and Friday, having their meeting, and I did look at the agenda, and we were not selected for the Phase 2 Transformational Learning Grant. So really disappointed about that. Bad news, but we just gotta keep moving forward. Hopefully that document that we created can help serve us well as we look at our strategic plan, we look at our cognitive review. So I still think there's a lot of value in what we put together, and it can give us a good sense of direction. Definitely was helpful for me to go through that and look at things K-12 through different building principles and really get a sense of what we're doing and it helped kind of guide our focus. So disappointed, but trying to put a positive spin on it. Adult Ed's open. Most of the classes don't start until February. We're getting some pretty good enrollment, and we got a little bit of time before most of the classes start in February for people to still sign up. I think that's all I got.
Sounds good. Any questions? Dave mentioned that you're gonna reach out to them to figure out, what they may or may not say. I know they don't score, which would be helpful.
Yeah, it'd be great to get a sense of, what they thought. Phase 2 is 2 years. Beginning phase of Phase 2 is 2 years. 5 districts for 2 years in the state of Montana are piloting how to really show the rest of the state how to do it. So, I want to make sure that Crystal Smith at OPI and the team at OPI understands that we're still eager to move forward, and we want to position ourselves well to be right at the beginning of Phase 2. Really, this is the end of Phase 1. These 2 years, the money, the $2.4 million that they're using for these 2 years are actually the last $2.4 million of Phase 1. And they decided, instead of distributing that money to every school that was getting transformational learning, they were going to select 5 schools to kind of highlight and work with closely on proficiency-based learning that they could then use as a model to show other districts in the state how to do it. So 2 years from now, I would anticipate us, having another opportunity to get our foot back in the door and be, in the next wave of folks selected to get some more funds. That's kind of yet to be determined. It hasn't been rolled out, but that looks like how things are going to happen. And it'd be really nice for Crystal Smith at OPI to be able to tell us, what we might have been missing, in that grant opportunity that other schools had that they were looking for, so we can kind of assess what we want to do.
Do you know how many schools had transformational learning grants?
I don't know the number of the schools that had them for Phase 1.
Yeah.
I know that.
It'd be interesting to know.
I'll give you an estimate, but I don't know if this is exactly, just maybe a little under 20, right in that area. So those would have been the districts that would have been eligible for the Phase 2, and then they selected 5 of those.
Gotcha. So,
Out of those 20?
Well, of those that schools that applied, yeah. I don't know how many applied for Phase 2.
Yeah.
Were they specific on size of districts, like AAA?
No, they didn't say in the grant process who they were gonna select, or it wasn't based on class size. I mean, it was based on district-wide proficiency programs. So, the districts that had the most going with proficiency-based learning programs were going to be selected according to the way that the application was written. According to the meeting, the agenda that isn't official yet, it's Kalispell, Missoula, Lockwood, Livingston, and Troy are the 5 schools that are in the agenda. So the Board of Ed still has to approve that, but. Yeah.
Really good work. The work that Ryan did with the rest of the admin team was good quality, and I really felt confident that we would be selected, but we didn't. But that doesn't diminish the fact that we have some work to do, and we'll we'll keep after it.
It was a solid grant. What I'm going with is that they were the one, all of them were 99, they just threw darts at boards. That's what I'm gonna go with. So they just picked one across the state, one way or the other. That's
It's
fantastic.
so, yeah.
So,
Geographic diversity.
exactly. So, cool. Thanks, Ryan. Mr. Check?
Evening, everyone. Seth and I also learned a few things with the power outage. This is the first time we've been down for that long period of time since Seth and I have been managing things for us. So, we have a brand new checklist, what to do after everything's been down for 48 hours. Most things came up. We had a little weirdness with Wi-Fi in a few locations that, I didn't see coming, and a few other things like that with servers, but for the most part, we got everything back up and running. It wasn't until the teachers got here that we located a couple other issues, but yes, we learned some things and have a new checklist for post-power outage for the network. A couple of amendments on, or at least one amendment on the board report you had there. We actually had 4 proposals for E-rate for 2026. One of them did not come to me, it came to our E-rate consultant. She shared that with me at the end of last week. So that's a change on here. We're down to our last 2 digital privacy agreements with any luck. I appreciate Ms. Lansky's help on that one. We have Kahoot, and we made our 3rd and final try with College Board. As you may know, that's ACTs. I don't know what the language I would use. They're not real cooperative with students signing off on digital privacy. We made our 3rd try. Any luck, 3rd try will be the charm. Yeah, the only other thing I want to mention is we have a bit of a rearrangement with our E-rate expenditures for this year. We had to change the model. We found out once we got into the nuts and bolts of the model, or the switch we bought for the high school library, that we're gonna have to change models. That obviously took some renegotiations with USAC, but we should have that in before the end of June. So that's the only thing I will mention.
Any questions for Ms. Check? Ms. Lansky?
Just keep it brief. I've been working on relaunching our safety committee and trying to get together a brief handbook for that, so that we can be in compliance. Working on some policies. We have a litigation issue that is gonna take some attention going forward. It's nothing new. It's just the progression of the life of that process. And, let's see, contracts reviewed, we've had some HR matters, working on the new legislation, the requirements of the new legislation for cardiac emergency response policy and procedures, and also we have some new fingerprint and background check requirements that are gonna require some tweaking of some, I guess, areas, programs, and some, probably a contract that we also have outside the district. So just putting some thoughts together on that.
Excellent. All right, any questions for Ms. Lansky? All right. Did I miss anybody? Anyone there?
Just me.
I know, I got you. All right, it's all you
A
got.
couple of highlights, just 2 things, very related things. The annual report and strategic plan go really hand in hand. I will have the annual report ready for the February meeting, just finishing up some budgetary things. And part of that is dependent upon where we are on the 1015, which we discussed during the special meeting. So those components will be part of the presentation or of the report. We've already talked a lot about the wind and the power outage, so I'll skip that. I've been attending the Friends of Hamilton School Foundation meetings. They are very motivated for fundraising and having a lot of conversation. One of the projects that they are very motivated about is purchasing some playground equipment at the middle school. And to be honest with you, initially I was hesitant, like, okay, why are we doing this? This is something that I know we all aspire to have a new building at some point. And so what I've learned is that anything that goes in there would be movable, would be something that could be moved to a different location if need be. But they are very motivated to get that done. Different topic, which we've spent a great deal of time talking about, the ice rink. The Downtown Association has let us know that they have decided to let 2026 go and put that project on hold. What is not clear and what I don't know is what the motivation is for a partnership in the future. There was some indication that there is interest in the future. Don't know if that means 1 year or multiple years or what that looks like. So just have nothing really concrete on that part of things. So that's it.
Sounds good. All right. Any questions for Mr. Tennis? All right, keep rolling along here. Consent agenda. So in your board packet, you'll see the personnel report, minutes for previous meetings, out of district students, all of that kind of stuff. Any questions? You make any comments on the consent agenda?
No, not tonight.
Okay, nothing on that. So any other comments? If not, can I get a motion to approve the consent?
One question.
Yep.
Marlon, have we ever been to 300 out of district students? In your time?
Not that I can remember, I don't think all the information necessarily you guys get, but that's a lot.
Yeah, I've never seen 300, or I don't think I have. That's all I got.
Yep.
Academic programs.
Speaks highly, so, cool. Any other comments? All right, if not, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda? Can I get a second? Second? Second. Okay, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Okay, all right, whole business, we'll start with the first one, the Bridge Health Alliance.
Yeah, the Bridge Health Alliance was, they met their threshold both in the number of districts that have signed on to participate and the number of individuals. So 150 school districts, more than that, 150 school districts was the threshold, and 12,000 employees. And they've met both of those thresholds, so the next step will be, this will go in front of the auditor. That timeline is March 31st to have that solidified, and that trust will be off and running. So, yeah, it will be a new opportunity for many districts to have a new state funded insurance pool. So, yeah.
Exciting. I think we don't get on the state for putting the money in and moving forward. Cool. Any questions about that? All right. Next one, permit process for the Delport.
Yeah, so the contractor has the information as we're working on the permitting documents and getting all of those complete, and then we'll work back with us to get that stuff filed in front of the city. Christine, anything to add there?
No, that's up to date.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Any questions? All right. Next one we already talked about, so we can skip that one, or not skip it, just we've already updated. So the new business, we'll move on new business. Approval of the election contract with the Mill Valley County Elections Administrator. So this is our standard for this. I'm gonna go through it just real quick. Just
Yeah, so election contract, a contract with the Mill Valley County Elections Administrator to run our elections for trustees. And I know that we've discussed potentially a technology and or safety levy. So they would administer that process. And so this contract would solidify that agreement with the Valley County.
sounds good. So we do want to run elections. That's not what we want to do. For sure. So can I get a motion to approve this election contract? So can I get a second? Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. All right, here we go again. Can I get I'll just say, can we get a motion to approve the Montana Data Privacy Agreement for the Luminix company? Can I get a second? Second. Okay, any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. All right, review of the MHSA proposals for the 26th annual meeting provides guidance to the district representative. Mr. Boone.
Yeah, this year, there's not a lot that's, kind of too crazy out there. Do you want to go through each one of them, or how do you want to do this?
I think so, just might as well go, just kind of cruise through real quick, so.
Yeah, I'll just give you a brief overview of each one. Number one is just basically saying, for like a tournament, that they have to be an MHSA school. There's schools that are proposing like for a non-MHSA school to participate in a tournament. My recommendation says no, if you want to participate, it should be an MHSA school.
How many non-MHS?
It would be, there's some different homeschools, Christian schools that aren't members of the MHSA. And they want to participate like in a track meet. And the idea is like, if you want to participate, you should just become an MHSA school to do that. So.
But if they're homeschooled, they're still, aren't they still?
Well, it's like, if it's because like in Billings, there's like a separate Christian school. There's a
Right.
Christian, like, group of schools out there that aren't MHSA schools, but they want to participate and get the full MHSA without being a full member. So my recommendation is say just become a full member if you want to participate in those. Number 2 is just looking at for just 6-player football. They want to spread their profit differently. Right now, they share their profit with everyone in 6-player. They want to do it just the teams in the playoffs. If that's what they want to do, I don't think I would let them. So yes, I think on that one, it's all done. Expedited hearings for the board, basically saying if you need basically an emergency meeting, you have to pay a $300 meeting fee, and it's not refundable. So that's coming from the board, the MHSA. I don't think there's any reason not to allow it.
Why would we need an emergency meeting with the board?
Let's say there's like an eligibility issue or something with, that you have to get all the board members of the MHSA together to rule on it. So basically they're saying like, to do that's a lot of work. There should be a fee.
So Travis, they moved that from 250 to 300.
250 to 300.
So, okay.
It happens very rarely. In my 9 years, we haven't done it. So, but if we did, I don't think there's a reason not to pay the fee. So I would think yes on that one. Academic hardship, this is looking at extreme cases that the executive director can allow a student to be eligible. I think we should give the executive director that issue or that power to say yes. If like a student's parents passed away or something, they weren't able to finish 4 classes the previous semester, I think he should be able to say, yes, you can participate in sports. On that one. This one, number 5, this is looking at, this could go either way. I don't know how the membership's gonna vote on this one. This is basically saying if you're in like Hamilton High School and you go to homeschool, right now there's no sit out, like transfer. They wanna put in that you have to sit out like you do with any other transfer for the varsity competition. With that, I believe we should, I think that's right to do.
So, easy loophole, I'm gonna go homeschool in Dallas, so I can play for them next week.
And there's people, yeah, I mean, there's different ways around it. They're trying to limit the amount of kids that go from public schools to homeschool. I think what we'll end up seeing is a easier path to go from homeschool back to public schools, which I think we all agree is what we want, kids in our schools. So I believe that, and my recommendation say, yes, we should look at that for academic transfer eligibility sit out. On that one, the number 6 is just looking at, last year they changed that award rule where now we can provide up to $500 per kid per year for like, you know, like if we buy them sweatshirts or we buy them stuff like that. In the past, they used to have like disposable items like socks and like practice jerseys that you don't ever want back anyways. They want to put that so that doesn't include the 500, that's separate of the 500, which is just really a kind of a written thing that they forgot to add in there. So I believe just to make it right, say yes on that one too.
Does that mean you can let the kids keep their uniforms after a certain?
Not the uniforms, no. It is the more of like if we, you know, like you do a travel sweatshirt for softball, that the school with fundraised money can pay for that and the kids get to keep it.
So you
In
get
the
the
past, we
$500
weren't able to do
$500 for that.
Yeah.
Okay, Karen, I think you talked about that last year.
Yeah, that's what they approved last year. They want to put in writing that like socks and stuff don't include that 500. That's separate, that's still disposable items that don't count to the 500.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
On that, so I believe yes. And then the last one is just to clean up the ejections. Right now, if a spectator gets ejected, they're out for 3 games. Well, there's been a lot of issues on what 3 games means. Like if you get kicked out of a volleyball game, are you able to go to the next football game, which counts as your 3 games as suspension? So what they want to do is clean that up and just say, if you get kicked out of an event, you're done with all activities just for 2 weeks. And I think that's a lot easier for admin, MHSA, everyone to uphold
Get in trouble one time, have 4 hearings about it.
Figured out, it's really hard to figure out what a 3-game suspension is with all the different activities and sports going on. So they're just trying to clean that up and just say, you're just done for 2 weeks. And I think that's a lot easier, so yes.
Well, I finished my 2 weeks in like 2021.
Okay, so you're able to come back.
All right.
So just recap, it's just, no on one and then yes on the rest. I don't think there's anything else coming up, but sometimes in those meetings, things change, but that's kind of what we're going into on Sunday and Monday.
Okay, perfect. Any other questions about it? All right, so, I need a motion to approve, actually, we need a motion to approve Mr. Bloom being our representative at MHSA to vote for.
So,
Can I get a second? Second. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Excellent. All right, board policy, 1015.
Policy 1015, we've talked about quite a lot, especially lately, and so it is up for your consideration for adoption tonight. If you are comfortable with that policy, we then can move forward with that as our guide.
Any other discussion? We had a lot of discussion last time. Any more thoughts? I think it looks pretty good. All right, can I get a motion to approve the new mission, vision, and goals, 1015? Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Excellent. Polytech we've covered already, so we're good on that. That's all I have, right? Good. Okay, so the only thing is, I've been requested to get a picture of the board, since we have everybody here. Yes, Ms. Lawrence's looking, he has to. So we'll grab that. So I caught you before you all left. All right, other than that, meeting adjourned.
If you would circle your pink sheets over to me, I'll stick those up.
I do not.
It should be noted.